Caleb just sent a message to his group chat.
Oh yeah. From I got 2 likes already. So I think
Really no other context.
it was a good intro message. Basically, we had made a group chat for the master's course I'm gonna be taking at Oxford, and everyone started like sending the mandatory or the socially mandatory. Hi, I'm blah, and I'm from blah, and I'm currently doing blah.
I don't think
And
we've ever done that anywhere else.
no, that's like a thing. Everyone, once you make a new group chat, it's
No.
with strangers. That's like the first thing you
We live
do.
in very different
You
worlds,
it's
clearly.
it's either like over text or it's the first time you meet each other. Somehow it's gonna happen. You're gonna have to say hi. I'm Caleb from Ghana, and
But the thing is, this is the world I would like to live in, where people do that. But unfortunately, my experience, people don't have this courtesy.
no, yes they
People
do.
think they're
If
better
it's
than sending this
no, because if
message.
it's a big group, cool. Like it probably won't happen. But if it's a small group, it's
Yeah,
bound to
that makes
happen.
more sense.
Exactly.
And Caleb was very undecided on what
Yeah, I
he
spent
would
like
like
10
to.
minutes on
Hey
typing this
guys,
message. It was a lot
never
of
hi guys in his life
I've
for
never done
sure.
that before. I was trying to stay true to who I am.
Yeah,
Yeah. But in other news, we just graduated
he did.
semi-officially.
No, this is
We
official.
don't have our diplomas
Oh,
yet, but
come
we got a
on.
mug,
Yeah,
and our parents
came and left.
came and left.
Left yesterday.
Yeah, I got to see Paris for the first time. And the Eiffel Tower, which, to be honest, I was telling myself like not saying that it's overrated in my head, but like that it was like hyped
Did
a
you
little too
do you know
much.
about that Japanese like Paris syndrome?
What is the
It's the
Paris syndrome?
funniest thing. So its origins are something like back, I think maybe during wartime or something.
Mm,
America really painted this picture of Paris. I think it's America.
mm,
I don't know. This part is the whole thing I'm iffy about,
mm-hmm,
of Paris being this like dreamscape
mm,
of like romance and just beauty and all of this. So now, even till this day, a lot of Japanese people will come to Paris, be so overwhelmed that they'll experience physical symptoms
mm,
of things equivalent to depression, but also just like severe disappointment and like therefore
yeah,
sadness, and some, I think the extents have been maybe like some sort of like light pain or like
mm.
sweats or just very visceral feelings, and I think it's called like the Paris syndrome. It's the
I didn't have
funniest thing ever.
that.
Yeah, so it exists, this concept of going to
Oh,
Paris, and because it's been so overwhelmed, especially overhyped, I mean, especially the Eiffel Tower,
mm.
that you go and you're kind of just like
No, I had the opposite though.
yeah.
So throughout the city, like we were Ubering everywhere. Um, throughout the city, like you'd see it peek over like some buildings depending on where you were. And like the day that we were gonna see it, we went through like down the Arc de Triomphe, so, like down the Champs Elysees, and we're just walking in. Like on the way there, we saw it a little bit, and then after like some shopping, we were walking towards there. And for me, we just turned a corner, and it was just there, like
Yeah.
in my face. I was like, "Whoa!"
Uh,
Like I guess I didn't have that much of an expectation for the city, or let alone just the tower, but I was like, I think I was breathtaking, I guess to
that's
say.
I'm
And
glad.
I get the sophistication or like yeah, that aspect of Parisian stuff. Like I thought everything had was over detailed, like in a respectable way. Like it's definitely like too much detail in some of the buildings, but like I mean shit, like I trust it. Also, because we were in the town where our Airbnb was, I was just seeing people's backyards and
Wait,
buildings and
what?
stuff in the town.
Oh, the Airbnb.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
because our Airbnb was right next to this airport in this place called Roissy en France. I don't know.
Which district, do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And everyone's backyards were like, whoa,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, right. You
Anyways,
sent me the photo of the face.
of the face,
Like a
they had a
statue.
statue face in their backyard. I just thought that was so French. Um,
Oh my god.
but yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's why we haven't posted.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
I remember I was telling everyone this, and I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but um, I learned about Paris before I learned about Europe. Just growing up, you always
Mm.
like you kind of just
You've been telling everyone this. I've
yeah.
never heard of
Oh, okay.
That's
Uh,
interesting though.
because I remember there was like a little Eiffel Tower on my teacher's desk, and like things like that. And then people would be like, "Oh, oui is yes in French," and things like that.
Uh,
And then people in Paris are like, "Oui, oui, baguette." Obviously not, but
Sorry, continue. We baguette,
um,
right? That was what I mean.
well, okay, I didn't know that, but I don't know. It's just very
Mm-hmm,
hyped, right? And that the picture of France in a
mm-hmm,
child's mind is probably just
mm-hmm,
Paris.
mm-hmm,
So then it was like a huge deal when I went, and I was amazed
mm-hmm.
at everything,
Yeah.
every single thing. Yeah,
It was so funny because my parents kept saying like Paris,
pretty. Oh,
like instead of saying Paris, but they wouldn't even say it with like the French accent. It would be like, "Oh, Paris." I'm like, and also because
okay.
so the thing in Ghana, because we're surrounded by French speaking countries, because
Mhm,
the countries surrounding us, like all our neighboring countries, were colonized by the French.
mhm.
So in school we had to learn like
French.
French as like our secondary language, and it didn't clock to me until like when I'm there with my mom and she's like speaking bits of it from like what she remembers from secondary school. Not very good, not with like a very good accent,
Yeah,
but she'd be like, um, she just say like casual French phrases to like the people working there, and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah,
crazy. Oh my god, how did they respond?
so back in English,
Ah,
cause
okay.
yeah,
Parisian French is also just a whole other level.
mm,
But that's so cool. Have you heard her speak French before?
my mom,
Yeah,
no,
that must have been cool.
mm-mm. I was embarrassed. Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Cause then also we went to a souvenir store
Mhm,
next to the Eiffel Tower. Cause my mom wanted to get like some stuff for like some family members
mhm,
or whatnot, and the lady there was Asian.
mhm.
We didn't know she was Chinese, but my mom was. You know how old people are? She's like, "Oh, are you Chinese?" And then she was like, "Yeah." And then she started speaking what she remembered of when we used to live in China,
Yeah.
and like I mean the words were there, but like the inflections and stuff were so off. But
Really?
I mean, yeah,
Wait, how do you know?
cause like I could just tell.
That's crazy. Your reflections always bang on, which is
What
crazy.
can I say? When I'm good at stuff, I'm just good. No, I'm playing. Cause I am like um really bad at languages. So
No.
yeah,
Oh my god,
it's like the hardest thing for me to learn.
and yet your mandarin is super accurate. It's crazy.
Of like the tiny bit that I know.
Yeah, but still, that's better than I don't know. I appreciate that more than
Mm.
someone speaking really funky Chinese to me, and I have to guess
Yeah,
the
that's what my
inflection.
that's a good word. That's how my mom sounded. She was speaking funky Chinese.
And then you're
Her
sort of just
Mandarin
there,
was
like,
funky as
wow, I'm
fuck.
proud of you for remembering the phrase, but
Mm-mm,
without the inflections, like,
mm-hmm,
there's so many permutations
mm-hmm,
and combinations of what inflection you could have had, right?
mm-mm, mm.
And then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of just
yeah.
get guessing. Okay.
But anyways, what are we talking about today?
So I was inspired by, um, how did it even come up? I don't know, but the idea of are good things still good even if they were done with bad intentions?
Mm.
Actually, the origin was the idea that like, oh, why should you trust dentists because their business depends on the fact of like repeat customers, right? So why
Oh
right
yeah,
trust
this
what they
whole yeah, that's
say?
what we had. And
Yeah.
we realized what capitalism is.
Oh,
um.
and then it's like, was is anything good? And then you said that this links a lot to our Born to Be Bad podcast,
Mhm.
but there it's more about like selflessness. And I think now that I think about it, I think selfless. I don't know. I think it matters less if we're trying to measure that, but it matters more if we're looking at the broader picture of whether the good things are just good, right? We don't have to measure selflessness, but good matters,
Mhm.
if you get me.
Um. Yeah, and for me, that linked just a tiny little bit to Whiplash, but I think I forced that link in my brain because I'd only recently watched Whiplash. Great movie, by the way. If
Fair.
you haven't watched it, you really should. But um, sorry.
You know, tell me you got another like.
No, I didn't get another like. It was my dad. and also my package is here. Um, but yeah, I think so. In the Born to Be Bad episode, which is episode 9, if you want to go, um, we talk more about like, yeah, are people like inherently good or bad, and
Mm.
then what makes them good or bad, and that's how we came to the selflessness aspect. But I guess here we're talking more like the reasons why we like why do we do good stuff, and like if
Yeah,
things is
are
bad
good
or
things
not
still
bad.
okay? Like, I don't remember in The Good Place.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, jumping right into it.
Yeah,
Remember Mindy who was in the medium place?
sure.
So she was a bad person, like bad quote unquote, for her whole life. She was a corrupt businesswoman, I believe, who made like a lot of money of people unfairly, basically. I
Mm-hmm.
think something like that. And did drugs, was not a good family member, all these things. But then just before she died, she had like some awakening, I believe, and she started a foundation or a charity.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she died, that charity did a lot of good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so then the bigger question was, should this good be attributed to her and
Mm-hmm.
therefore affect her outcomes in life? This is a very broad way of looking at things. Like
Mm-hmm.
the real life example is probably like, um, if oh god, I have nothing off the top of my head.
No, but it's true. A lot of people do philanthropist work to like kind of clear their conscience or like to look better in the public eye or to make the
Exactly.
company look more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a real thing.
So then should they still be seen as a good person?
I mean, you're still doing a good thing.
Yeah.
So.
That has like effect. Because the thing
Mhm.
is, that's the thing you brought up, right? That we shouldn't be measuring effect
Mhm.
because that would soon be counterproductive and also probably cause us to lose perspective of
Mhm.
the greater good. Um
But I kind of want to break it down from like a bottom top approach.
mhm.
No, that's not what I'm. That's not the word I'm looking for. Reductionist. Yeah.
Okay.
Um. Do you think that there can be morality without religion?
Uh because of like afterlife or just because of
No. Like, do
like
you think
conscience? Yes,
you can have a
conscience.
moral compass
Yeah,
without religion?
I would like to think so.
So my standpoint on this is no. I don't think there is morality without religion. I think morality is like it's like your compass is a set of kind of rules that guide you on what's good and what's bad, what's ethical and what's
Mhm.
not. If it's not based on anything, if it's just like what you feel, then it's not really like it's an uncalibrated compass. It can say north is this way and then the next day like change its mind and say north is that way because it's not calibrated on anything, right? It's not following the earth's magnets or if you follow what I'm
I
trying to say.
do.
But like if you have that religious backbone of like morality is this because like just how it's explained in this religious book or through that religious teaching, so you know what's bad and what's not, and you kind of have to follow it, right? You have to follow where it's not. You can't pick what's north and what's south. You just follow it because kind of that's the belief system you have. Then
Okay.
that's real morality, right? Because if you're just going based on when today you think killing is bad, tomorrow it might not be so bad because of so and so circumstance, you know. So I think there is no morality without religion. So then when you go, I guess, one layer up, and then we talk about doing things for the right reasons, if there is no religious backbone for why you're doing something, like, oh, the Bible, even then it's like a whole thing. But if you're not doing this because the Bible says that it's good to do this, or like the Quran teaches you to be this way, or whatever religion that you
Mhm.
follows, religious texts tell you to do, then yeah, you're not really doing it. Like it's more for a humanly reason than it is for like a something greater than you. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I do, but then to that I'll challenge. Do you believe that there's like conscience without religion? Because I think that morality can exist with conscience. And sure, you can say that like conscience also needs something to ground it, right? It also needs to be based on something for it to be in a direction to have direction. Uh, but currently, how it works is that conscience can exist just because it's taken from the belief of the crowd. So I know what I'm doing is wrong just because it's measured by other people's actions. Just because
Mm-hmm.
other people don't do it. Like we do a lot of bad things,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't see it as bad just because everyone does it, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's already, sort of been written
Yeah.
out there in the world that it's kind of fine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I could see a world in which perhaps religion dies out,
Mm-hmm.
but the remainder of how this conscience was built still
Mm-hmm.
exists,
Mm-hmm.
and humans still measure things based on that and continue to measure things based on that. And if morality can exist without religion because everyone has a conscience
Yeah,
and
but
everyone
I
acts
think
based on their
it's
conscience. So,
built off of because different parts of the world and their societal systems and like what's like law or stuff are built on the religious beliefs of that part of the world. Like America
mhm,
is built mainly on Christianity, the Middle East is built mainly on Islam,
mhm,
like things like that. So then, even though you may not be religious, society at large, to some extent, has like a religious backbone,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, but then say that religion dies out, but its remnants of what it existed and the rules it set
Mm-hmm.
continue to live on, then
Yeah. So then
it's still religion.
I think it's still like,
I
cause
think it's people's conscience.
yeah, but it wouldn't be there if religion wasn't. I feel like that's why religion became like a thing in the first place is because like you need like to give people like a kind of a greater reason
To act.
to act in a manner or like well what we consider peaceful manner, right?
When you say religion, you do you also refer to like agnostics, just the belief that there is a greater power?
Yes,
Okay.
because like if people were allowed to do things for like if people did things for whatever reason that they thought, I feel like a lot of the time like and it's hard to imagine this because it's not the world we live in, but I think people would do less good. Now it's set up in a way where you can get good karma like indirectly, right? You can do something with like not necessarily the best intentions, but you know that it will look good, and so later it will bring you like good karma, quote unquote.
Okay. Let's bring it back to this dentist example.
Mm-hmm.
Why why do we trust dentists to have our best interest in mind and our health as a priority when again their business relies on the fact that we go back every 6 months? Why do we trust their word that we should get our teeth cleaned once a year or
Mm-hmm.
however long it is? I was gonna say why should we trust them to brush our teeth every night, but that yeah, probably
Yeah, I
that's also the
think
case. So
it's it's in their sure it's in their best interest to keep us coming back, but it's also in their best interest to be like reliable, you know?
so you think,
I think it's
but that
like
would still
there's checks and balances in the system that keep people honest. Like you can't do bad things to people in the name of like it will bring more customers because someone else will do good things and still get customers. You know, there's enough people in the world that need aid to like especially in the dentistry business. Everyone or needs good teeth, at least like functioning teeth. We can get into this whole thing of aesthetics being like a very first world thing, like because a lot of the times people don't need braces,
mhm.
they or Invisalign or whatever. They just want it for the aesthetic of like having straight teeth. A lot of times, actually, it's like well, not a lot of the times because I don't know the exact numbers, but I do know that sometimes it might even be better to leave your teeth as is than to like get them straightened. So that's a very first world thing. But I'm just saying the basic need of a dentist, that's enough where like a bad dentist won't do well. Although they might think, oh, like if he keeps coming, but like if you can't fix a problem that someone has, they're not gonna keep coming back to you. They're gonna find another dentist, you know?
But all of this, you're arguing from the standpoint of they don't have any inherent goodness. You're not arguing that they're already doing it for people's best interest at heart and their health and ensuring that they live a healthy, happy life. All of this is, well, they probably are evil.
I'm not saying that they're evil. Dentists aren't evil people, but I'm just saying it's like, why do you pick a profession? A lot of people like if you want to be a doctor, like sometimes okay, yeah, I want to help people. A lot of the time it's six figure salary. And especially a dentist. No one like dreams of being a dentist as a kid, right?
When y'all, I don't know. I don't want to insult anyone.
I'm okay, obviously I'm not speaking literally, but like
Yeah.
you don't dream of being a dentist as a kid. Like you know that in the medical field is a good profession to have because it's always going to be there. Number one, and number two, it pays a lot of money in a lot of countries.
I think for me, all of this just stems from the really scary idea that it's really easy to be extremely distrusting
Mm-hmm.
in this world. Like you could question everything. I mean, I realized this original idea came from the idea of rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Bojack Horseman introduced this to me. It was like
Mm-hmm.
rehab relies on addicts getting addicted again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I just feel like you could sort of point to anything, you know? The education system relies on you believing that your child needs education from 5 to 18, and I don't know, it's
No,
like
but
it's like
okay.
you can question any rule that's ever been set, and once you start questioning it and scrutinizing it, you can become distrustful of anyone in power because no one will have purely whole intentions, right?
I think the education system one is more. It's less of like you need education from 5 to 18 because you kind of do need education to survive in the world. But I think it's more what you're being taught, right? Like
Mm.
you can make the point of like, oh, it's more
Yeah.
to like propaganda the youth on like the history of the country or like what's good and what's not or like which cultures are to be trusted and which are to be not. Like that's an argument that can be made
Mhm.
off the education system. So like okay, they're not doing it exactly to be good people. Like I'm pretty sure in Nazi Germany the curriculum was changed to teach them that like Jewish people are bad people or like in Interstellar
Yeah,
like
yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
they were taught that the moon landing was fake.
Yeah.
That I can see that, but I think a lot of the times the exploitation comes from people that are in vulnerable places. So like some systems like I wouldn't say are immune to this kind of scrutiny, but there are definitely some that are a lot more susceptible to it than not. Like
Mhm.
dating apps. That's one that's very predatory. Or social media. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. What keeps you trusting though? You base it on
Trusting
your
dating. I don't trust.
no, in just general things. Like, do you trust your own knowledge, or do you trust that you'll form your own opinion? Do you trust that your upbringing has taught you well enough to separate apples from oranges and to do things? I don't know. Again, the all or nothing mindset is sort of kicking in a
Mm,
little bit, so I'm really pushing for
you're
an
like a
answer.
meta podcast now. We just keep on bringing stuff up from earlier episodes.
It's about time
Um,
we were at like 30 episodes or something,
yeah.
right?
Um. Sorry. What did you? What was
What
your
keeps you
question? What
trusting?
keepes me trusting of what? Of the institutions you have
Anything
in
that
place?
like you meet a new person, would you
Mm-hmm.
trust that they have good intentions at heart, that they're someone whose morals align with yours, at least in any way whatsoever, you know,
I think
that
a
you,
lot of
yeah.
yeah, a lot of the time in like off of first interaction, you kind of tell what kind of what type of person what type of person the person is that you are dealing with
Hmm.
off of first interaction. And I guess yeah, you've had enough or I've had enough life experience to like know the really bad ones from like the okay ones. Some of them you need more than a couple interactions to figure it out. Some of them are really good at hiding it. I think just naturally, I guess I was like taught to like be more
Skeptical.
no less skeptical, like more
Oh,
trusting than not. I guess I haven't had a life experience that like
proved
really
otherwise.
fucked me that bad that I was like, oh shit, like I feel like that's what happens to a lot of people that are very distrusting or that take a long time to my feet are a little cold. That take a long time that take a long time to get warm up to people. It's probably because they had an experience in their life where someone that they trusted like did them really bad, you know.
Would you do you assume the benefit of the doubt in everything? Do you think would you say that that's your baseline?
Not in everything, but yeah, I guess baseline, yeah. Like I need like to think of something to like know concretely like true or false. Like when I was in Paris, this one guy. This was just like a very dumb example, but this one guy, he had gone for this festival, Fête de la Musique. Um, he was at the lobby, right? I'm gonna call him Thomas.
Okay, solid.
I'm gonna call him Thomas. And I go downstairs because earlier in the day, I thought that they were gonna clean our room, right? Because some guy had come knocked, and I was like, "Oh, we'll leave in like 30 minutes." But then we came back, the room wasn't clean. So I'm going downstairs, like, gonna ask, like, "Oh, do they have like morning, like daily cleaning of the rooms?" And this guy Brian is trying to check in, and his phone is dead, right? And I didn't think twice of, "Oh, should I trust this guy?" I was like, "Oh, I have a power bank or a charger if you need." Um, he's from the UK. UK pins are different from EU pins. And I go up to my room, he follows me. I wasn't thinking, oh, what if I tell him my room number and he comes and steals stuff? Or oh, what if I give him my power bank or my charger and he never returns it? In that moment, it was just like pure, I guess, human interaction of like, you need something, I'm gonna give it to you. I wasn't thinking, oh, I hope God is watching and this is good karma coming my way later. Or oh, I hope something good comes my way from doing this, or he gives me money because I was kind to him in this very little situation. In that situation, I was just purely like, I guess, humanly motivated to help him out because it's such a small thing. It's not gonna hurt me in any way, giving away my charger for a couple of hours for him to charge or whatnot. And he was also like the kind of one of the other few black people there, so I guess that's also there. But I feel like I would like to think that if it was any gender or race, I would have offered my charger because like it's not that serious, you know. So I do think that that sort of interaction can happen. Not everyone's doing something with necessarily bad intentions or not the purest of intentions in their heart. You can do something out of the kindness of your heart. And if you had listened to the Born to Be Bad episode, you would know that this is completely opposite of what I said. But yeah, I do think things like this can exist.
I mean, you know me, and I've done a lot of things that have made me incredibly naive because I possibly give people too much benefit of the doubt,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my downfall.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big character trait that I'm naive, and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly like where it stems from, right? And I realized like a friend of mine, you know them too. I only realized recently that they also constantly give people better like the benefit of the doubt, but the only thing is that they don't. They I think they act on it less, or like they have better hindsight and better perspective within themselves, um, to to separate it a little bit
Mm.
from that naivete. So then they don't end up as in dumb precarious positions as I have been in.
Mm-hmm.
Like that thing with the thing in Paris, you could have been incredibly naive. I mean, there are horror stories that my mother has told me of
Mm-hmm.
being in that situation. I'm like, oh my god, don't do that. Survival instinct, all of that. Um, so I guess that's the fear, right?
No, but if you live your life like that, like you're not gonna do anything, like at all. Sometimes you do something just to feel like a good person, you
Mm.
know. And I think your naivete, I think it comes from how you perceive yourself, and so like you project that onto others. Because you do a lot of things out of the kindness of your heart. Like a lot. You didn't need to bring me this mini fan. I specifically said no, I didn't want the mini fan because I don't want to bother you with like carrying like a whole fan all the way here. But you
Mm.
still brought it, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess you like project that onto other people. And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You just have to be, I guess, a little bit more careful, but like at the same time, not too careful. Because that thing of like, oh, like there are horror stories about that's like one in a million. Like if I had to think of that, I wouldn't help anyone
who stopped me on the street that asked for directions, and
Mm.
that's such a like. I don't see how I could live my life like that. If someone I knew someone needed help with something and I didn't, like I think in the past 2 weeks, 2 times I've stopped to help someone with directions because it's tourist season.
Mhm.
So like one time I was biking home, so tired, so hungry. This guy stopped me like around Vandermarderweg.
Mhm.
Um, and he's like, "Yeah, where's the next?" It's also train strikes. Oh, where's the nearest train? Or like, how do we get to the center to like buy? Did I tell you
No.
to buy like? He was like underwear, things like these. I was like, "Oh, do you want to like go to the shopping street?" Yeah, like if you walk like a little bit that way, you're gonna see like an M or whatnot. Like it was three guys, and it was just me. Like, should I have not stopped out of fear of being robbed or whatnot?
Mhm.
Maybe I should have, but like that's just not something that I think of when immediately when I'm in that type of situation.
Mhm.
Or like I was gonna meet up with a friend in Center. I was walking to the metro stop, and then this guy stopped me, and he was like, "Oh, do you know where?" Like he like phone. He wanted to call someone. Obviously, I can give him my phone. He's gonna run away with it.
Uh-huh.
But that's not my first time. My first time, oh yeah, here you go.
Mhm.
He called someone, and then the person was like, oh, gave me the phone. I talked to the person. Oh, can you take him to the Walmart? I'm like, yeah, sure. Did I think it was a setup that I was about to get like killed or what? No. I was just like, okay, I'll take this guy there. Bear in mind, like I walk so that I'm at the stop where the metro is coming,
Mhm.
like maybe a minute or 2 minutes before. So everything's calculated. But in that moment, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna miss my. No, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna help this guy. I was willing to walk with him all the way there, but then he was like, no, you don't need to. You can just show me the direction. Try showing him the way there, and then I didn't miss my train, my metro, but I took the next one. I feel like if you lived your life thinking the worst out of every situation, you're gonna be a miserable person, and it's gonna show to everyone else.
Mhm.
I feel like you living the life the way you live it, based on how you present yourself to others, it's a good thing because everyone sees that in you. Everyone sees like, I guess, the good nature that you exude. Than if you were to be a naive, like a less naive person or a more skeptical person that thought everyone was in it for themselves, which everyone is to some extent. Everyone has that limit of how low you're willing to go like to get what you want and
Mhm.
like fuck someone else over. So that is a thing. But if you lived with like a very high or low baseline of what that is, you're just not gonna live a good life, I think.
I think what's cool, like now that you say all of this, is that Amsterdam at least is a city that functions on a, like a trust-based system, right? That's
Hmm.
why self-checkouts exist. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
No, I'm curious what you're doing.
I'm like trying to pull out this knot in my hair.
Uh,
Uh
oh my god, you just pulled out a chunk of your hair.
huh. Chunk is a strong
Can't you
word.
brush it out?
No. Continue.
Oh my god. But there, I mean, now they've really cracked down on the self-service, da 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 da. But like here, sure, if someone asks me for directions or needs my phone, it's easy to trust. But I don't know about other places.
I think a lot of first world countries are high trust societies compared to like
Yeah.
third world countries. And it's like, and again, in the Born to Be Bad episode, you brought this up, the hierarchy of needs, where like once you have like once you climb higher up the
Mm.
ladder, like I guess things become less important to you. Like I guess that survival instinct is more numb, so you don't feel like you need to literally be in it for just yourself. You can afford quite literally to like be a nice person, you know.
Do you know I always get a little bit disappointed when I find out that someone didn't do something just out of their
Mm,
pure goodness of their heart. They
mhm.
had sort of ulterior motives, and ulterior motives makes it sound bad, but just other intentions. Like say someone comes to visit me at uni, and I'll be so overjoyed, like, oh my god, you came all this way just for me, and then I find out, they had something else they also needed to do, right?
Uh,
Something small like that. That there's no good, no bad, but something just like,
mm,
and then copy paste this example in other situations, like this was easy for them. And for me, it always just takes away something a little bit, I think, because I think I haven't met many people, at least, that have done a lot of things just out of the pure goodness of their heart, which is fine. But it's just it's this unrealistic expectation that exists in my head that I hate.
mm.
Like, why don't Other people do this too.
I think because because you are definitely an outlier in this situation of like just purely doing a lot of things because you want to be a good person or just out of the goodness of your heart. Like, not a lot of people think or act the way you do, and I'm talking about you in particular, not you like the general you. Like you, like it's true for you in general, but also you particularly, Sabrina. It's like definitely
Great.
a fact. I was gonna say something I completely
Face. Why do you have glitter on your face?
right.
Yeah.
I don't know, because when I had someone over earlier today, they were also like, "There's a lot of glitter here." It's like, where's this glitter coming from?
Something from maybe your mum when she stayed over. Did she have something that had glitter?
I don't know.
You
I
have it
don't think
like
so.
you turn your head and then the light hits a sparkle, and then I'm like,
I literally,
there was
'cause
literally one that was so bright on your ear that I was wondering if you got a piercing in that moment.
I don't know where this
I was like,
glitter's
what the
coming
heck?
from.
It's literally all over your face. At least it's
This
the
is
only thing
so
I'm looking at.
weird. I don't know where the glitter's coming from.
No, surely you bought something that has like a sticker or something.
I think so too, because there's no way.
It's the funniest thing ever. Wow.
Um, yeah, I
Okay.
can't imagine anything I would have possess or own that has that glitter and it's like everywhere. Don't know. But yeah, I actually blanked on what I was gonna say. It was a good
Morality
example though.
without religion is a good one.
Yeah, it's something that has been on my mind because I also would like to believe no, but the way that I think of it now, I think it kind of makes sense. Because even my moral compass, I think, is informed by what I believe is my religious upbringing. Like,
Me
remember,
too.
or remember when we did the trolley problem game,
Yes.
and like the whole point was that based on what ethical framework you subscribe to
Yeah.
is gonna determine how you answer like
Hmm.
those questions. And then if you went based off of whims, like I think the game was able to tell like, oh, you don't really subscribe to anything. You're just going off of what you feel is right. Like maybe today you might feel like pushing the lever, or tomorrow you might feel like leaving it off. Like if you don't have
Psychopath.
exactly, if you don't have like a ethical framework to
Yeah.
subscribe to, or like
Quite
more,
literally going to be a psychopath.
yeah, exactly. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. Sociopaths. I feel like that's also people that are just more in it for themselves, where like you want to be liked by everyone so much that you're not even doing things out of doing it, you know?
Sociopaths? Why specifically sociopaths?
Isn't that what they are? Like people who like YouTubers are kind of sociopaths where you just want to be liked by everyone. So like you start
Ah,
like doing like weird ass content just for the likes and the views and
that's
stuff.
that's not the how I commonly have heard sociopaths.
I don't know. I might be so wrong.
I thought sociopath was like, I mean, right? I mean, the description you gave still makes sense. But when, yeah, I think I link it closer to like psychopath. Like
Mm,
when you've got no, uh, the consequences of your actions don't matter to you at all.
mm,
So you kind of just do things on a whim.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Or like, you know how like at networking events, like there are people there who like will like be all nice to you, and then when
Yeah.
they find out you're not of importance, they like immediately like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, because they're only there like for themselves, so they're only there to like network with people who could help them and not yeah. So they're always looking up this metaphorical ladder than like down to help someone or whatnot, you know.
But that's the other thing that makes me question this, like, should good things still be seen as good even if they weren't done with those intentions? Like, say someone,
I think that makes life
say
easier.
like
So yes,
my friend, yeah, that makes,
your
yeah,
friend.
um, do things just to get liked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say that my friend, I find out that they only, don't litter because everyone else does it and they'll be seen as a bad person if they litter.
Mm-hmm.
But stakes removed, they would litter.
I still will see them as
Like that action
that
is still fine.
yeah, it was fine. Like if you're
Yeah.
not,
That little disappointment in me is just
yeah, there will be a little bit disappointment, and I do think it scales with like the magnitude of what the thing. Littering is quite a small scale thing, so if you're doing it just for societal reasons, it's fine. I feel like that's how isn't that how like campaigns are for like this kind of stuff, like awareness campaigns or like getting behavioral campaigns, or like, oh, it's not cool, so don't do it, kind of
Mm.
thing. I think we were taught that with our now completed degree in computational social science. So we are bachelors of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. It makes sense.
Like, you do what is socially acceptable, and I guess as a people, we're all fine with that now. So if you think too deeply of like, oh, are you really doing it for the right reasons? You're not gonna like anybody.
It just doesn't matter. I mean, we are all just needing to follow the rules that
Mm-hmm.
are set around us. They haven't come from the earth, they've just come from what we've
From
decided as a
us,
collective.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there are moral black and whites? Like, do you think there are things where like are straight up black
Right
and
and
white?
wrong.
Yeah, right and wrong.
I would love to think that. I would love to think that like there are just evil people in this world. Uh and there's no argument for them and all these things.
Because in this argument of morality without religion that I had with a Muslim friend, he was like, he thinks that there are three things that are morally, like, objectively, globally,
Oh yeah?
truthfully bad, and
War.
it's no.
Oh, okay.
Um, he said it's murder, theft, and rape are the three things that are like everyone can subscribe to it being bad.
Rape, yes.
But you don't think murder and theft?
I don't know, it's the argument of if a
Like,
hungry person stole bread for their
that's
family.
exactly what I said to him,
Right.
and we
If
kind of
if
had this.
my mom killed the guy who raped me
Mm,
for vengeance,
exactly.
you know? Huh.
And that's why I was like, I really think there's nothing that could be object. Like, sure, it's like, and I think because this is obviously from the religion that he subscribes
Yeah.
to, so he does believe like these things are objectively bad. But there is subjectivity to that. I think there's nothing that you can objectively say is good or bad. If in an alternate timeline, because his idea was then, oh, because even from time, like, these are the rules that had to be set in order for society to
Mm.
evolve, right? If people were still going on murder or killing and stealing from each other, and there were a lot of situations where like people like different groups of people would have wars and then murder, steal, and then rape the women. But he thinks that these are objectively wrong things, especially in modern society, because that's what is needed for us to function. And so it's like, yes, practically you can say that, but I think if you're speaking in literal sense, you can't really say something is black and white
No.
in a moral
In fact, you could
theme.
just say there's nothing you can say that is black and white because someone will always come by and
No.
you'll trigger someone and it'll be, different in a situation. I think you could, as a if you assume as a baseline, if you're like low conflict and you just don't want to have any confrontations, always say that everything is gray.
Mm. Well, like if I say this is a chair, not a table.
I see why you would see it
All right.
to
Yeah.
someone else. For a very tall person, could be a stool. I see it as a footrest.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, everything is subjective then. But yeah, that was just a argument or debate that we had. This is
I
like my
definitely,
first night in Paris.
yeah.
I like go out of my
Was it triggering?
no, 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 no. It was quite fun because I went out to like read. I
Mhm.
found this nice World War I memorial park. And I was just sitting in that area, just reading, 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 and then he calls me, and we start like just general boy talk, and then we talk about like how Iran had sent the missiles to Israel, and then that evolves into this whole conversation to the point where it's like 11 p.m. The sun is now setting, um, and I'm just loud as fuck on the phone, like around my Airbnb, arguing about morality and religion. But yeah,
Wow. How fruitful.
how fruitful.
I definitely push comes to shove at the end of the day. Sometimes don't do things because it's like, oh, what if there's a God? What if this is what
Mm,
decides heaven and hell?
mm,
Even though I don't know, either agnostic or atheist.
mm.
So yeah, you're right.
Well,
I sometimes am.
Sometimes I'm not. I don't know. This is what I think. Maybe we'll do a part 3 of this, and my
Was Born to Be Bad? Are
again.
people good? No, right? Because
Yeah,
we
no,
scrap.
yeah,
Did we scrap Are People Good? With
no,
Whole
that was Born to
Religions?
Be Bad.
Ah,
That was Born
okay.
to Be Bad.
That makes sense. Wow.
Go listen to that one, and you might see that some opinions might have or might have not changed. I think that's part of growing, no?
Yeah, that's
Anyways.
the idea.